I grew up with two older brothers in a close family household. My father had a family he never had when growing up, and my mom smiled as her three boys progressed through life. We were happy, together.
We're both pretty bored, like with what was going on with our lives currently, and we both felt kind of stuck. And we both agreed that we needed to have some sort of adventure. As a mutual consensus, we needed to have some sort of adventure.
So Jeffrey was planning to go to Connecticut to see his friend's band. And I knew he was going. He told me he was going. I never thought to ask him how he was getting there.
You know, we originally looked at taking a train, but there was no feasible way that we could take a train after work and make it to the show on time. It was just not possible.
Jeff called me on the phone and said that he was going up to Connecticut with Adam on Adam's motorcycle to go see his buddies from college's band.
We met up with his friends, we had a good time. We both danced to some crappy ska band because, you know, hell, we came all the way up there, I might as well have a good time. You know, the show ended, we all had to empty out, and people started getting into cars and stuff. As he's putting the helmet back on, I'm like, are you sure you don't want to get in one of the cars where it's warm and safe with your friends? And this is a clincher. And this is also the last thing that he said to me, or said to anyone else for that matter. And he said, no. I came up on the motorcycle. I want to stay on the motorcycle. It's all part of the adventure.
On October 23rd, 2004, my brother Jeffrey died in a motorcycle accident. His friend Adam Poots was driving. I was 15 when he died. When Jeff passed, I felt like he was away at college or off on one of his trips in Thailand. I wanted to make this film to get closer with my older brother. What do you think about my film?
I think it has a lot of possibilities. I think it'll be good.
Why do you think I'm doing it?
Well, I think you're doing it to sort of exercise some of your demons, try to come to grips with it. We're all trying to come to grips with it in our own way.
When I was around Jeff, I treated him like an annoying little brother. Our relationship evolved, but I didn't feel close to him. I felt closest to my older brother, James. I didn't really admire Jeff. It's hard to know that one of the last conversations I had with Jeff was an argument. I decided to take a trip with my dad to see where the accident occurred. I hoped to rid myself of the guilt by seeing where he died.
Well, when I would see you hang out with your brother, you guys didn't always really get along. You just didn't respect as much what he was saying to you because he was your older brother. Yeah. And it was a little bit of like young rebellion.
You know, typical, like 14-year-old kid, I do the same thing. You say something to the kid and it's, I know. Oh, I know that. Oh, I know this. Oh, yeah, I already know that. I already know this. There's nothing the kid didn't know. Not a thing. You couldn't teach him anything in life.
I'd like to think that his death didn't have a major effect on my life, that I would have the strength of character to move on, live life in a way that he would be proud of. But his death did affect me. It changed me and my family immensely.
Losing Jeffrey, who was such a good older brother, a good mentor, makes it a little harder for you, because I think you and he were getting closer right before he passed. And I think you were really starting to open your eyes and learn from him.
I think that when he died, you were a sophomore in high school, I was a junior in high school. We were really at the age where it was going to affect us the most, because we didn't know, we hadn't lived the world the same way, We had never seen someone our age die. Other people had.
I felt lost, confused about what I was feeling, uncomfortable in my own skin. I thought that if I could just be more like Jeff, I'd have some direction in my life. I mean, I sort of feel that, like, what I'm doing right now, I wish I could, change some things, and I'm trying to change them. And then I look at, like, Jeff, and he had a lot of what I want in my life.
Okay, and that part of it's fine, but But you can't keep saying, you know, I'm not as good as Jeffrey, I'm not as smart as Jeffrey, I'm not as talented. That's not positive. That's not good. I mean, you are as smart as Jeffrey is. You are as you have as much talent. Maybe not the same talents, but you have all these other things going for you. You don't have to constantly compare yourself to him.
I didn't want you to turn into Jeff just as a result of missing Jeff and of Jeff not being there. I wanted you to be your own person, and I felt like I didn't know how much of your own person you were going to be compared to how much you were going to be what this travesty, this one event affected you. I didn't want that to turn you into something you're not, or turn you into the kind of person that you might not want to be, or the kind of person that was just someone that was manipulated.
That's a lot, to know who you are, and I think that's what you're really struggling with. Took Jeffrey, he was almost 22 when he passed, but he had given himself a lot of years, those later years, to learn about himself.
You know, I still make stupid choices, you know?
Because you're 18 years old. Jeffrey made a damn stupid choice too by getting on that motorcycle.
I realized that I was putting Jeff on a pedestal. I missed him so much.
It's hard not to think that you missed out on. I understand that you would feel that you missed out on bonding with him on a certain level, but I don't think it's good to think that way, because he had unconditional love for you.
We used to say that James was more the athletic type, and Jeff was more of the academic type growing up, and that you were like a combination between the two. You were like the super Jeff in the making, but you hadn't quite realized it yet.
I wanted to be Super Jeff when I began this film. If I could add more of his qualities to my personality, I could bridge the gap of his absence in my life. I am 18, but I am not Super Jeff. And by being who I'm supposed to be, not emulating another, I feel closer to him.
It's somewhere here up ahead. I don't know where.
Well, Adam said that he was under the guardrail.
Yeah. But you're not going to see any signs now, 2 years later.
No, not at all. But this is where it happened.
Yep.
This film has made me get in touch with the loss of my brother. It truly feels like he is gone. I needed to feel closer with him, but I did this by being someone that I am not. Everyone has to do the work somehow, and this is how I did it. I learned that this was just a place in the road where the worst thing that could have happened happened. Now that I have completed this chapter in my life, I realize that wherever I am standing is just another place in the road. We're going home?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we did it.
Yeah.
We did it.
I can't believe what people say. You're gonna let your hair hang down. I'm satisfied to sit here working all day long. You're in the darker side of town.